Cultural Confusions by Nathan Acosta. The article I researched was After Decades of Silent Protest, Advocates and Students Speak Out for LGBTQ Rights by Chanlis Duster, published by CNN on April 12, 2024. This article focuses on the cry for change within the community of the LGBTQ by examining how anti-LGBTQ laws affect school, sports, and simply everyday life. Duster shows us how critical these moments are for their community to be heard and to feel safe. Duster focuses on real-life, day-to-day experiences and really captures the meaning of change within the day of silence to the day of no silence. This quote I decided to show was by a student named Jesse Gilliam. The goal for me was to demonstrate to the world how important the voices of LGBTQ youth are and how damaging homophobia and transphobia is to all of us. This is a really strong quote because it really just captures the entire movement of Day of Silence Rise. It really just sets the tone for why they're speaking up, why they're stepping out. They want to demonstrate how hurtful and damaging homophobia and transphobia can be, and they want to do it without really having the resources to go out and protest nationwide and have all this TV coverage. They were just a group of students that wanted to step out and speak out. They really wanted to be heard and to have their voices captured. Now, the reason I chose this event was because of how this previous module really just jumped out to me in a way that only a few others had previously done. When reading through the political and cultural confusions in the 80s and 90s, I was able to see a common theme with today's society. I'm not a part of the LGBT community myself. However, someone does not need to be in order to see the massive movements and attempts they have made to be heard and recognized. When looking back at the confusion during the 80s and 90s, it is clear that there was widespread worry about family values, American values, and American values. The values consisted of which direction women's rights were headed and how much value traditional approaches held, and the overall moral of the value of America. Along with this, a major point on cultural confusion was the outbreak of AIDS. AIDS at this time was seen as a gay disease, and because of that, it was kicked to the side and not given the attention it needed. This was very important because once people realized it was, in parentheses, a gay-only disease, it stopped getting as much coverage as it needed, and it stopped getting as much attention and care as it needed. It showed that although there was a lot of strides within the LGBT community, when it came down to it, people were quick to turn the other way and to not care for what seemed to be an only them problem. Along with this, many people worried about the ages to come, believing that what were the values going to head in? What values were the woman's rights going to be at? How much value did women have? And just what direction as a whole America was going to be headed in. It was really important to recognize that a lot of people felt worried in which direction they were going to head at. They felt as if previous progress might be pushed back or altogether might just cease and stop. Now, in present day, we witnessed widespread worry with the recent election. Both sides were worried that what were to come if the other side won. Now that there's a new elected president with President Trump, many worry for the values of America and which direction we will be headed. Family values are being questioned, women's rights are being questioned, and LGBTQ rights are being questioned as well. And most importantly, the overall trajectory of the USA is being questioned. With this said, it's easy to see the connection between the 80s and the 90s with such widespread confusion. You can see the similarities with both women's rights being questioned, with LGBTQ rights in big parentheses being questioned. It's very easy to see the connections of which two groups are feeling the most targeted and which two groups are feeling as if whether all their value is and will hold any value within the years to come, and how it will move on. Thank you for listening to my presentation.